Rinky, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. It's so good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you on the show. So before we get into it, I just want to let people know that are going to watch this. I found you on Instagram. I was impressed by your post, which we'll get into later. But I said I have to have you on the show because I have a variety of people, different careers, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs that come on here, and I like sharing their stories with other people. So first, Rinky, how do you pronounce your last name? Let me know.
Barua.
Rinky and Barura.
Barua. Yeah.
Barua. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
It's basically pronounced exactly how it's spelled.
Yeah, you said that with your first name too, and I was like, I want to make sure I'm getting it right. Okay, so Rinky, where were you born and raised?
I was actually born in UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Emirates, yeah.
Or like, a lot of people would associate it with Dubai, the main city over there, where I think that's what people are most familiar with. So I was born there, I was raised there. And then I moved here in 2003. I was a teenager back then.
Hmm.
So yeah, and like, but my parents, my background, ethnically, I'm from Bangladesh. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much it. But I never, but I've visited Bangladesh a few times, but I never really actually lived there. It was mostly Dubai
Hmm.
and then Toronto.
Okay. So first, I want to know about Dubai because I always hear a lot about Dubai. People say, "Oh, wow, it's nice there. The cost of living, you can get good jobs." But I want to know from your experience, if you were there long enough to know the standard of living, what would you say it's like?
Honestly, when I left, it was very different from what it is now, that's for
Okay.
sure. But I feel like they are just expanding almost every day. So there's definitely an abundance of jobs and opportunities for people who are looking to like kind of advance in their career. And the lifestyle itself is very, very different from here. That,
Okay.
that I'll give you, because over there, people love luxury. They have a very different like lifestyle where they want to enjoy life all the time, pretty much. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely a huge shift in lifestyle when I moved here.
Mhm.
Um, I honestly, it's one of those places where I would love to go back and maybe stay for some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a place that everybody needs to visit for sure.
Yeah, I was told I had a friend that went there like when we were at work. I work from home now, but probably 5 years ago, a coworker said she went there and it's beautiful. And I think she was riding a camel out the
Yeah,
desert too. Yeah.
yeah, you can do that too, which is actually a very, it's a great experience. I've done it too. And you know what's funny? I didn't do it. I didn't ride a camel when I lived there.
Yeah.
But when I went back to visit from Toronto, suddenly I had like, I wanted to ride
Yeah.
a camel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Suddenly I'm
Yeah.
a tourist in a place that I actually grew up in, which was funny.
Yeah.
But so many different experience, so many things, different things you can experience there for sure. So
Mhm.
a must visit for everyone, in my opinion.
Yeah. And wait, it's expensive, right? Is it expensive?
Relatively speaking, yes, but no, because if you're going from Canada,
Hmm.
like if you kind of like, I'm just gonna go a little technical with this. If you go with
Oh, go
like the
ahead.
dollar and the dirham over there,
Yeah.
in comparison, it's actually not bad.
Hmm.
So honestly, I would say whatever you're paying here, if you're paying it over there, you're getting a much more richer experience in whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're staying at a hotel or you're trying to go scuba diving or something like that. So
Hmm.
I think pricing wise, it kind of works out,
Yeah. And the last thing I was going to ask about that, the tallest building is there, the something Khalifa, the
Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa. Yes. Have you been there?
I've been there and it is amazing. And the best thing I would suggest is whoever ever visits Dubai
Mhm.
and they go on the Burj Khalifa, make sure you go around the time when the sun is setting. So you kind of get to see the entire city
Oh my
during
God.
light, well,
Mhm.
during daytime. And when the sun sets, you see all the night lights and it is absolutely beautiful. So you kind of get a little bit of both
Mhm.
and it's a beautiful view. And And even when you are, and like they make sure that every single step of the way they make they enhance your experience. So even when you're just going up the elevator and everything, they make sure that you feel like, you know, you are on top of the world, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't imagine how tall it is. I actually worked at our tallest freestanding structure. I don't even know if it is anymore, but the CN Tower.
Yeah.
I worked at the CN Tower, and I used to take the elevator up because I used to work in the revolving restaurant.
Yeah.
And just going up there, the height, standing on the glass floor, it's kind of high. So I'm like, wow.
Exactly. And it's a different experience, right? Like, you know, suddenly you're just like, whoa, I can see everything from here. You literally feel top of the world, right?
Yeah.
In Dubai, it's definitely a lovely experience for sure. So
okay, but did you leave your parents? Are your parents still in Dubai right now?
oh no. So my dad, he retired a few years ago, so he moved back here with us. So yeah.
Oh, he's in Toronto.
Yes, we live in Toronto.
Okay, nice. Okay, now, and when you moved to Toronto, you said you were a teenager, right? So how old exactly were you?
That's a good question. You know, once you hit, in my opinion, for me personally, once you like hit 30, you just kind of lose track of how old.
Yeah.
It was 2003. I'm 33 right now, so I was doing the math, but like I don't know, maybe I was 13 or 14 years old. Something like that. So yeah, when I moved here, I went to school I was in grade 9 at the time. So I started off school, and which was also a very different experience compared to what I was used to. Yeah.
So you're a fellow Torontonian. So I grew up in Toronto, went to public school, junior high school, and college, Seneca College. So what school? I want to know if I know the school you went to. What
high school or university?
High school first.
High school. So I went to Georges Henry.
No way.
You know that
serious?
school? Yes.
You went to Georges Henry?
I went to Georges Henry Academy. Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, just quick story. So my junior high school, Downview Junior High, went up to grade 9. Most high schools, I think all high schools start at grade 9, but our junior high went to grade 9. So I started high school at Victoria Park in grade 10. Victoria Park Secondary School. Yeah. Okay. So in Donview, though, some of our main friends, we had a core group of friends that are going to be listening to this. Some went to Georges Henry, and then some went to Victoria Park. So
that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. But there's an age difference, though, right? I'm 48.
Yeah.
So it's way back in the days. But you went to Georges Henry.
Yes, I did.
You know that area. So you lived around the area then?
Yeah, I literally lived in the building right next to the school.
Are you talking about those condos?
No. There was another building. Once you get out, it's kind of on your left.
On the left?
Yeah, 135 Fenelon.
Fenelon? Okay. I know someone who lived in there. And then the bridge is right down there and you get
Yes, the underpass. Yes.
The underpass. Wow, small world. Okay, so that's good. That's just hearing your background and stuff. Now, when you were younger so now you're in Toronto and now you have to think about a career. So you went to university. What'd you take?
So I started off, I went to University of Toronto, Scarborough campus, and I started off with the management program, which was actually pre-management. That's a whole different story. The kind of forms that I don't want to open at the moment. But in between, I changed my major actually, and I took arts management and visual arts, which is studio arts as a major. So a specialist and a major program. And through arts management, we were basically focused on management aspect in the not-for-profit organizations. So, so we kind of got a little bit of everything that you would get as a management student. So we got to learn a little bit of accounting, marketing, and all those things combined together. And one of the things that I started to realize about myself, because I was always kind of focused on getting myself into a career in marketing. But while I was in the program, we had to do a lot of a lot of our projects were very hands-on. A lot of our projects involved, putting together events. And I think that's where I started to really love the whole idea of event planning. But I didn't really think about like, pursuing a career in that, to be perfectly honest. It was just something I really enjoyed doing. Yeah, so that was, and with my studio arts major, I basically focused mostly on graphic design and photography and things like that. So I kind of my skill set when it comes to photography and Photoshop, of course, kind of went up. I learned as I go. Yeah, so that was pretty much my life in university.
Okay, so it explains, like when I look at your content, which I get, I'll get into later, but the content is amazing. It's fire. Yeah. But did you work during university life? And then like, what was your first job out of university?
So I was doing like work study positions, which were basically while I was still in university. So if you're a student, you kind of get a job on campus on different departments. So I kind of was able to use some of my graphic design skills in a marketing position while I was still working, like while I was still a student. So I kind of got to get a little bit of hang of that. After university, things didn't really it wasn't really ideal. I got a job at Robarts Library, which is at U of T downtown.
Oh, U of T, okay.
Yeah, but it was not something that I wanted to do. I'll be perfectly honest. For me at the time, it was just about find a job so you can pay off your student debt and you can make money. And that was basic. That kind of just became my focus. So I completely lost touch when it comes to anything to do with marketing, event planning. It was horrendous. The job itself was fine. It's just that me as a person, I was not happy with what I was doing. Right. And long story short, I think I just kept going for like a couple of years or so with that job. And then I got laid off because they were shutting down the department and they were just, they didn't need certain people anymore. So I got laid off, which was the best thing that ever happened because yes, it was the best thing because that pushed me to go back to school. So I went back to Seneca College to do a post-grad certificate program for a year. And that was in event marketing.
Beautiful. Okay. Wait, you went to the Newnham campus then, or
Newnham campus? Yes.
Right.
Oh no, sorry. It was actually Markham campus.
Markham.
It was there's a campus in Markham.
Down 404. Yeah. Okay. I went to Newnham. I know your campus. Yeah.
The reason why I said Newnham is because I would go there a lot because there was a shuttle bus that would take us to Markham campus. So I did Newnham campus a lot, and I would just hang around the Newnham campus most of the time to study and stuff. So I just blurted that out. So sorry.
No worries.
But, like I knew what I wanted. Like I knew where my interests were, and I was like, let's just go back to school and give this a shot, right? So. I think things just started, I got a co-op position and then I started looking for work. And then eventually I started doing things specifically where I want to focus on event planning and marketing. So, yeah.
So where did your hustle come from? Because I can tell you're a go-getter. Was that innate in you? Do you always have it or did it come at a certain age?
It came at a certain age because I think after university and having a job which I absolutely didn't love, and honestly speaking, I feel like it was one of the. I'm glad I have that in me now because back then in my head I was like, oh, this is how life is supposed to be. You work 9 to 5, and then you come home and then have dinner. Wake up the next day and just do the same thing. And I feel like a lot of people live that lifestyle and a lot of people enjoy that. That's totally fine. I have nothing against it. It's just, it wasn't for me. I didn't really love the whole idea of, working a job 5 days a week that you don't even love and then living for the weekend. And then Sunday comes and you're complaining about Monday already. That's like a cycle that everybody is kind of stuck in, and I just didn't love that. So I was like, no, I need to, at least if I'm in the 9 to 5 life, I want to make sure that I'm doing something that I love. So I think I'm guessing that's where it just came from. It's just not wanting to wake up every morning and feeling resentful, like, oh my God, I have to go to work. worst feeling ever, right? So I just didn't want to feel that way anymore. So I kept going. And even and I went through so many jobs in between then and now.
Yeah.
And there were opportunities where I could have stayed at a job and
Mhm.
continued making money. But I was like, you know what? It's not even about money anymore. I don't feel good here. I
Yeah.
want out. So
Yes.
that's just where it came from. And I just stuck with that I'm still with that till this date. And it has really helped me be where I am today. And I'm so much happier than I would have been if I was like just pursuing money at the time.
Yeah. That drive, very important. So one
Yeah.
important thing you said too is the 9 to 5, you know, I'm in it right now, but I've always done something on the side. My wife and I had a cake business. I did the stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. 9 to 5, nothing wrong with it because some people want to do it. But if you really have dreams and aspirations, that's why I like to have people on the show so people can hear, what people went through, the struggles. And if you have those dreams, go for it. But the thing that holds a lot of people back, which I know, is it's about money.
Money. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
can't do this because I have to do this. I have to pay this. Right. But
or it's even like, let me just make this much amount of money, then I'll pursue this.
yeah.
And by then you already have other commitments that you gotta meet. You know what I mean? So it's like either you just go and do it right now, or like you will probably never get started if you keep thinking, oh, I just don't feel ready. You'll never feel ready.
And there's never a right time. Like
there's never a right time.
Do it now. Yeah.
Once you get that thought in your head, that's the right time. Just go and do it. And the thing is, if you fail, that's not a bad thing, because at least when you look back, you will be like, at least I tried, right? You will never have that regret in the future thinking, you never even gave it a shot. How would you know if it was going to work out or not?
Exactly.
And the best thing about failure is that you get to learn from it. You get to learn from it, and you get to, next time you do it better, and then better and better. If you achieve success like right away, I don't know how long that's going to stay with you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to learn how to hold on to it too. And, some people are very lucky when it comes to that. But I feel like those are also the people, if they fail by any chance, they take it way too hard on themselves. So, failure is definitely part of the process, and it builds you as a person too.
Yeah, you learn and grow, go through those tough times. Oh, Rinky, you're spitting fire today, I have to tell you. Okay, so let me talk about, let me ask you about the event planning now. So how was that time, and where did you work? Were you self-employed? Did you work for a company? How'd that go?
So basically, I worked for a few companies in between. I actually even worked a position at Seneca College, which was a contract position as well, which was also, we had to do a bunch of events for an entire week for, Seneca students and faculty and that community specifically. So yeah, I went through a few jobs, different kinds of events, so different experiences. Some were great, some were not so great. But you know what? I learned from them, right? I learned what I like better. I learned from any mistakes that I've made in the past. Yeah, and I always just enjoy doing it. It's one of those things where, like, it's very exhausting. It's a lot of work. It's very exhausting. And there were times when I would be on my feet for God knows how many hours, like more than 9 hours I'm on my feet. And I'm like, I know once I go to, like, once I'm sitting or like lying down, I'm done.
You're out, yeah.
Like, I know that. But in the moment, I don't feel that, right? I just love the whole idea of planning events and running events and things like that. And I even went ahead and pursued wedding planning as well. I got certified, which was a great experience for me as well, because I got to assist a lot of other wedding planners in planning weddings. And I took a lead in few of them as well. And I actually started my own thing too, a couple of years, like 3 years ago, I think. And then, unfortunately, life happened. I got a full-time job in between, so my focus kind of shifted towards that a little bit. And as I was trying to juggle, my time and my energy, and kind of just refocus on the wedding planning and, the something that I started off my own. COVID happened.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's what I wanted to ask about. Yes.
COVID happened. And I'm not even joking. I had few, I already did a couple of wedding shows prior to COVID. And then there were a couple more that I was supposed to do that same year.
Wow.
One of them I even paid a deposit for. Okay. Like I was like, I was in the process. I'm like, no, I'm doing this, right? I'm not going to take a backseat on this anymore. This is what I want to do. Let's go for it. And then pandemic.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about the pandemic was nobody knew how long it will last.
Yep.
Nobody was giving clear answers on like when things will get back to normal. 2022, things are still not fully back to normal. Right?
We're on the third year now.
Yeah. So for me, it was, it kind of, that's where like I had to kind of, it was actually a very sad moment for me at the time, because I felt like it was something that I just had to kind of put aside for a moment. I haven't forgotten about it. It's still in the back of my head till this day. But at that time, I think a lot of couples were, canceling their weddings.
Yeah.
Or they were just shifting back to like their backyard weddings. So they're just doing it in the house, which was also incredible, to be perfectly honest. They're making it work under, such circumstances. In my case, I tried keeping up with certain things, but it just didn't work out at the time. So I'm like, I'm not gonna force this.
Yeah.
Maybe I might get back into it and start it off once I feel like I can. But at the moment, it's not my main focus. But always like even till this date, some of my friends will ask me for a little bit of help here and there, like helping them organize certain things, because they're also getting married. All my friends are married.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just, so I'm always happy to do it. It's just something that I love doing. But unfortunately, it didn't fully work out the way I wanted it to, but it's okay. Things happen. You gotta learn from it, right?
Yes. And bittersweet though. So this what comes into now the content creating. First of all, I jumped on Instagram late. Like I had Facebook, MySpace, and YouTube when I was doing comedy back in 2007 and stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then I canceled my Facebook, but I got it again because the podcast. But before we get into your content creating, because I want to know, did you have a main focus or strategy for your page, your IG page? Or did you always have an IG page like when it came in? And was it focusing on what you're doing now?
Around the time when it first started, I think I got into it like maybe by the second or third year when it was becoming more popular, which was, I don't even know how many years ago that was.
I don't even know either.
Yeah, but like mine was more like a personal thing. It was more like a personal account. I hardly ever posted anything. I would just post pictures here and there. Okay. And I like, especially around the time when I did get it, this was years ago when I was still at that job that I didn't love prior to.
At Toronto, University of Toronto, that one? Yeah.
Yeah, after my undergrad and everything. So I think it was around that time that I got it. But like, I didn't have like an amazing fun life either. So I'm like, what am I gonna post anyway, right? So it was just more like a side thing that I just like, post here and there, and I never really took it seriously until the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about that. Now the switch, right? So a lot of people like to use that word pivot, and they change focus. A lot of people got that flash bulb or light bulb. Let me just change careers and things like that, or start a page. So you started posting. Like, fill me in on that, because your posts are fire. I like looking at.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like looking at dunks, right? Because I come from that basketball era where I like dunks. So when I'm scrolling, I'll stop at people dunking.
Yeah.
I'll stop at cute animals. I'll stop at good news stories, and then I'll also stop at anyone that has these fire, this modeling content with the music behind it. So let me know about your page.
Okay, so I kind of just like the idea of, posting nice pictures and stuff like that. I didn't think it would go anywhere, to be honest. And I kind of started around I think end of 2019 or something like that.
Oh.
But I wasn't taking it seriously. I would post nice, like I would go take nice photos here and there. Did like one video, I think, and I would post it, and I thought it was, amazing or whatever.
Yeah.
You take it seriously. I'm working and all that stuff, so I'm like, I don't have time. Like, I'm not really focused on this. I'm more focused on my job and, the fact that I'm going to start a wedding planning business and stuff like that. So it was never really my main focus. But after 2020,
Mhm.
oh my God,
Yeah.
when things just went, I feel like everything just went wrong for me in 2020.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Business didn't work out. I got laid off from my job as well because of COVID.
Mhm.
And I'm a very creative person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time in 2020, where am I going to apply for another job? Where am I going to find another job? There's nothing, right? Everything is kind of just up in the air, and people losing jobs left and right. So I was like, and of course we're all stuck at home. So what am I going to do with my time now?
Yeah.
Right. So I started making content. It started off for fun, to be perfectly honest. It just started off for fun. I even made some funny videos here and there. And I don't know. I just and then it just got better every time I made a new video. The lighting got better.
Yeah.
It was much more, it's not blurrier anymore compared to what you saw, that kind of thing. So, and as I'm doing this, my editing skills got better too. So if you watch some of my really old videos, you'll be like,
wait, are they still up on your IG page?
They're still up. I'm
going to scroll. I'm going to check it out. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're bad. They were at that time when I just started off, I felt they were amazing, right? But then obviously now that I compare, I'm just like, oh my God. But at the same time, I was learning, right? I'm learning how to edit better. I'm learning how to make it all look better.
Did your skills from what you learned in school, so the digital stuff, the Photoshop, did that play a part now that helped you out?
Absolutely. I learned how to edit videos back in university. And that's where my video editing skills came from, but I didn't use them for all this time until now, right? And I got better with my editing. And now it's much more, I feel like now it looks way better than what it did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I just use my creativity, and I just focused on that. And as much as I was doing it for fun, one fine day, I got a company, a small business in Toronto. They got in touch with me. They contacted me on Instagram saying, hey, we love your content. Would you like to, kind of market, we have this product. Would you like to show it, post something about it if we send it to you? And I was like, oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. And it was and I had 300 followers then. So I was
okay.
Whoa. Yeah. The fact that they actually saw something in me to showcase their product on my page, it felt really good. So I think that's where I started taking it a little bit more seriously, right? I started posting better content, better photos. Okay, this photo is great. What can I do next time to make it look even better? I scout locations, go out,
yes,
photos, even out in the cold. Oh my God, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But I do it, and the more I did it, the more fun I was having, and the more I was falling in love with the whole craft. So it didn't feel like, oh man, I gotta make a video today. And also another thing that I wanted to not focus, but I think it just came naturally to me, is that I want to do, I don't want to just make videos based on what's trending, rather than what I feel creatively aligned with, I guess. There are some trends which I absolutely love. So I'm jumping on that trend right now.
Yeah.
Usually for me, it's more about for instance, I listen to a song very randomly, and I'm like, oh, this song would be great to make a video on.
Yeah.
I can go for this kind of video. So my ideas just pop in out of nowhere at times. So that's how, yeah.
Same thing for me.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, right? So you
Yeah.
don't know when you're gonna get inspired, where you're gonna get inspired. But when I
Mhm.
do, I make note of that first, and then I, just go ahead and create. And I just fell in love with doing it, and then opportunities started to pour in. I started connecting with a lot of other people, a lot of other fashion bloggers around the world, right? And
Wow.
it's great that I'm like, sure, it's great to have a lot of followers, but also the fact that you're building a community at the same time with like-minded people,
Mhm.
people who are doing the same thing, or people who are kind of have the similar mindset, where they want to not just sell a product, but also create some kind of a positive experience for people.
Mhm.
So it's great that I'm meeting all these people through Instagram. I've never met
Amazing.
them in real life. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
met you on like Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm building a community, I didn't even realize I was, but now I know that I am. It feels amazing. It
Yeah.
feels amazing. And it's all thanks to Instagram, of course, connecting with
Yeah.
so many different people.
Proud of you. Yeah, so brand partnerships, that's good. Like now do more brands seek you out or do you seek them out? How does that work? Because I don't even know how it
It has mostly been, actually, it has always been brands seeking me out.
works. Mhm.
A lot of the times, a lot of the times it's a paid partnership, and a lot of the times it's just a free product. And a lot of the times when they're free products, it's like usually like small businesses, and I'm always down to support them no matter what. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, just send it. Tell me what you want, what kind of content you want me to create. I'll do it.
Mhm.
Always like down to support you guys for sure. So yeah, it's so far it has been a lot of collaborations that came my way, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, at one point I do want to start reaching out
Mhm.
to other
Other,
companies
yeah,
and see how where it goes and that kind of thing.
of course. And I have to say again that I appreciate you doing this because I just started this podcast
Hmm.
because I like talking to people, doing things like this, editing videos, but I also give to charities as well.
Hmm.
And I reach out to people in Toronto, in the States, all over. And when people just say, you know what, I'll help you out. Like I had a guy, Chris Staples,
Hmm.
big following, 500, 600,000 followers. And he took the time to do my podcast.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then what happened from there is I got the fundraiser warriors who I'm donating to as well. I reached out to Chris and he did a message to the fundraiser warriors. And they're from Hamilton here in, Ontario.
Hmm.
And it touched them. So they're probably going to get inspired now because they raise money for other charities. So what I'm trying to say is by you doing these things for other people and reaching out, good things will come to you. So I like that. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, always. And I'm a strong believer of that as well. And most importantly, be grateful for what you have.
Mhm.
Don't worry about so much. Don't worry about things which you don't have. Be grateful for what you have right now.
Yeah.
Um, and before you know it, things will start coming your way.
Mhm.
You will have everything that you ever wanted. But when you are in the moment, just live in the moment. Be grateful.
Yeah.
Be surrounded by good people, family, friends, and all that stuff. So huge
Yes.
believer.
Yes. Yes. I want to ask you about YouTube, but one more question about content creating. Because again, I'm impressed by the pictures, the
Yeah.
photos, the videos. How long does it take you to get like the perfect shot? Like when you're outside in location in Toronto, because you impressed me. You said I thought you had a photographer, but you take your own pictures, you set up and everything, amazing. But getting that perfect lighting, getting the background, just the scenery, how long does it take you to go from, okay, I'm here at location or even at your house to, okay, this is it. Now let me start editing.
Initially it was a challenge, I'll be honest, because I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know what's showing up on camera. Because you
Okay.
know what's funny? I don't use the front facing camera. I use the
You use the back? Wait. I heard that's it's better
yeah.
quality. Is that why? How do you
So I'm not even looking at what's getting photographed while I'm doing this, right? That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
funny part. Like, I think that's where it feels like a bit of a process. But once I got so used to it now, so I know my angles.
Oh,
And yeah, I know my angles. I know how low or high like my phone should be when I'm taking the photos,
mhm.
how it should be angled. Sometimes if you angle it too high, you will look short. If you
Yeah.
angle it like you go angle it low. So like all those things I kind of figure out over time as I'm taking photos. And also realizing what makes me look good, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you could take amazing photos, but then when you look at them after, you're just like, okay, my eyes are closed and this and that. So like I figured out over time. Yeah. And I think, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just figure these things out over time. So no matter what location I'm at, no
Mhm.
matter what kind of day it is, it could be actually the best day to take photos are like cloudy days, not sunny days, because
Really?
yes, if you go out and have the sun shining on your face, it just brightens everything up, and just the contrast is terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta work with that. So if it's a cloudy day,
Mhm.
or partially cloudy or whatever, the lighting is way better. Everything looks a little bit more like properly. Uh, how do you say it? I don't know how to say it, but like there's no overcasting shadows and things like that, so you don't have to worry about those things. So yeah, I just figured those things out over time, and then I know my angles, of course,
Yeah.
and also my editing skills come in place after, where I like sometimes you gotta fix up the color, or there's some weird garbage can in the background somewhere, and I'm
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
get rid of that. Right, so yeah, I just like over time, the process just became so much easier to figure out. The more you do it, the better you get at it, the more
Yeah.
you learn better, like what works and what doesn't work for pretty much everybody, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much my process, to be perfectly honest.
Nice, nice. Thanks for sharing. And the last thing about the content though, doing the trick, like, because I'm not a phone guy. I don't know all this stuff. I don't have an Apple, I have an Android. So I don't know if you could do it with Android. It's an app. But when you do the clothes changes, like
Uh-huh.
like what app is that? Like, share your secret. I don't know what's going on here.
What do you mean? Could you like elaborate?
So so say you have clothes in your hand, right? And you're wearing an outfit, and then the screen just changes and now you're wearing that new outfit. So
Yeah.
everyone does all these fancy things, but I'm old school. I don't know how to do this stuff. But is that an app that you do it with?
No, it was just editing.
That's editing?
That's editing. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So basically, you go through the whole, and honestly, the process is actually a lot more hectic than it might seem. But when you're going, because there's like, once you're done, it's like there's clothes everywhere, and you're just like, oh my God, I have to clean up. My goodness.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But no, it's just editing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do a shot, and then you're done, and then change outfit, come back, do another shot, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
and then once you edit them out, you split them, you edit them out, and you put them all together. Now it
Mhm.
looks like seamlessly you're
It's
changing
seamless.
that.
Yeah.
Not like that. I wish it was like that. I wish it was that easier, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna try that one day. Okay, now your YouTube channel. When did
Yes.
you start your YouTube channel?
It's a very good question. Last year, I
Last
started
year.
last year, beginning of last year. Actually, I made a video December 2020. That was my way of finishing off the year.
Okay. Okay.
So technically then, but like I really got into it last year. It's funny because I was never going to do YouTube ever in my life, but then
Yeah.
a friend of mine
Mhm.
who is also based here in Toronto, he does, him and his wife, they have a cooking channel, and they're doing really well with it, and their content is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good, and the food looks so good. Oh my God. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, he just kind of uh, encouraged me and like kind of pushed me too. He's like, just go ahead and start doing it.
Mhm.
Um, like if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at
Mhm.
least you tried, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's just where it came from. So eventually I was like, you know what? I'll just give it a shot, right? What's the worst that can happen? It won't work out. fine, but at least I know I tried, right? So yeah, that's where, that's essentially where it all started. And to be perfectly honest, it takes a lot more work to create YouTube videos and also edit them. It's so much work. Oh my God, it can be very exhausting.
Oh, I know.
So, yes, right. And then it feels like in the beginning, especially when I was like, this was around the time when I still wasn't full time, like I wasn't working full time. So I had so much time on my hands. I was able to create videos almost every week, but it kind of slowed down here and there. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay consistent rather than trying to make a video every single week. I'm trying a bi-weekly thing because I feel like if I try to force it, like let's say I don't even have like a good idea to put out there, but I'm like, I gotta put a video up though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just post whatever. It does, first of all, it doesn't feel right. It does not feel good, it does not feel right. And second of all, the quality of your work goes down, right? Quality for me definitely matters a lot. So I at one point I told myself, I'm like, listen, if you cannot make a video every single week, don't be so hard on yourself, right? Like work with it, go with the flow with it rather than forcing it and trying to create something every single week and then burning out and not being able to do anything for a very long time. And that has happened to me before.
Yes. I know.
So yeah, that was pretty much the process. Now for me, YouTube has become more like a go with the flow thing where I'm making videos as I go. But if I feel like I don't have any ideas to go on with, or if something like there was actually a video that I shot and I just kind of didn't like how it ended up looking, so I never ended up posting it.
You didn't use it. Okay.
So that happens too. It happens on Instagram too sometimes. Like while I'm in the process of making a video, I'm like, oh, this is gonna look so amazing, and then I look at it after, like, fine. I'm not gonna post this. It doesn't feel right. It needs to feel good. Like for me, quality again matters. So so I kind of try to. I don't want to rush. Like I love the process. I love the creative process of content creating. So I don't like to force myself to go take pictures, go do videos, and then post them and that kind of thing, because I feel like it just kind of disrupts the process. It disrupts the creativity for me. So sometimes the quality you can see from the quality, it sucks.
I get it. And that's good advice to new YouTubers as well. But I seen that you have three different, like I was looking at the playlist. So you have like hacks, tips and hacks, and style and fashion, right? So you do different things too as well, right? And I saw a good video because I like fashion, and I seen you do like the 2000s versus the 90s or something like that. The 90s fashion. But one video I got to tell you, which I want to ask you, mental health. So we talked about COVID. You did a video on, I guess, staying focused or reconnecting. You were outside on a bench. But
yes, that video.
So what advice would you have to someone that's going through that depression or anxiety, those feelings where you can't get out, you're stuck in a rut? Because you've been there, right?
I've been there. And I wouldn't say I've been there once. It just happened a couple of times. And I think it just happens because, you either things are not going right, whether it's in family, relationships, work, school, whatever. It could, you never know what someone's going through and where their mental health is at. The reason why I even made that video at the time was because I was going through a burnout phase, not fully, but I was kind of there, and I was not able to make videos because again, it just like, it wasn't like lack of ideas. It was just lack of creativity at the time for me. One of the things I would say is that like, it's okay to slow down. It's go easy on yourself, right? Like, let's say you miss a week of posting. Let's say you didn't do really well on that assignment. Let's say something went wrong at work. It's not the end of the world. Like nothing bad. Like, of course there are, consequences, things go wrong, whatever. You get a bad grade, or your boss is kind of not happy with your work, or like whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it is not the end of the world, right? It's like you gotta be in the moment, right? Whatever it is that you're feeling, feel it. Don't suppress it. Don't some people will just be like, okay, let's go get a drink and suppress it. Don't do those things. Feel it, go through that phase, go through that episode of yours, but then learn to move on from it. Like, you know, give yourself an entire day to feel bad, cry, whatever it is that you're feeling, just go ahead, give yourself that day. And the next day, it's a new day, it's a brand new day. Just take the next step. Seriously, just take the next step and just keep moving, right? You can't, like, if, like, this is something, I actually currently work at a company where we have a very amazing working culture. And one of the things that we really talk about is that a lot of people are stuck in a rut all the time is because they are so focused on the past or some things that didn't work out in the past that they're not able to live in the present.
Right.
Or people are just so anxious about the future that they're not living in the present. Here's the funny thing. The past and future, they don't exist. They technically don't exist. The past exists in your head. The future is yet to come. And not to sound morbid, but like, we don't know if we're going to live to see the next day. So you're here now. Everything, like the moment you feel like you're in a rut or you're not feeling good or whatever, just look around you, list 5 things that you're grateful for. And it could be as simple as, hey, I have a roof over my head. I have food on the table. My family is happy and healthy. Sure, things are not going right, but look at everything that's going right and that's good. Be grateful for that, right? And then just wake up the next day, keep moving, keep going. And whatever happened, learn from it rather than being stuck in a cycle of reliving it. Because that's not going to take you anywhere. And at the end of the day, you got to look out for yourself because who else is going to do it for you, right? So yeah, I hope that makes sense overall.
No, that is fire. Yes. Teachable moments, mindfulness.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is amazing conversation. So now though, with season 2, I have 2 cards that I've been showing people.
Okay.
And you're gonna answer one of the questions.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
My hands, let me mix it up. And with my hands, tell me which one you want to answer.
Okay. How about the one on the left?
What is one of the most memorable moments of your life?
Oh. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a very tough one because there are so many moments. There's so many good moments that I can already think of. Sorry, this shouldn't be so hard, but I feel like there's just so many good moments that have happened. I'm pretty sure in everybody's life. And there's still a lot of good moments to come, of course. I would say one of the best moments would be when I am with my family. And I think I would say this was one of the moments where my entire family kind of came together at one point. And this was back home, not even Dubai, but like in Bangladesh. My entire, like all my relatives and stuff, like my entire family, like most of my family lives there anyway. So I think one of the most memorable moments would be when I was back there, when I was really young, and I was with my family. And the sad thing is that I don't get to see them often. Even back then, I didn't get to see them as often. But when I did, it was one of the best moments of my life. And at the time, my grandpa, the only grandparent that I was actually that I actually had like growing up. He was such an incredible man, such an incredible storyteller. Oh my God, it was always like all the cousins would just sit around him, just waiting for him to tell us stories, about his life and things that he did and some ghost stories and things like that as well. So I feel like one of those moments, that's what I can think of right now, is one of the best moments, because that's when you are truly in the moment. You are surrounded by good people who love you. And it's just a blissful moment because everyone's happy, everyone's happy to be where they are at the moment, right? So yeah, like that's what I can think of right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, Rinky, we've come to the moment where I have 3 balloons in my hand. Hold on.
Oh, cool. Okay, okay. What do we do with these?
I'll let you know. Okay, Rinky. So what I do every end of every episode is my guest chooses a balloon, selects a balloon, and then I'll know which charity I'm donating to today. So the 3 charities that are in the balloons are Up With Women. And I had someone on from Up With Women yesterday. Her video is going up next week.
Nice.
The Fundraiser Warriors and the Mississauga Humane Society.
Okay.
So again, by my hands, or they're colored. So which balloon would you like me to pop? Pink, green, or yellow?
Ideally, in this case, usually I would probably go for the pink, but I don't know why. I'm gonna go for the yellow. I'm gonna pick yellow.
Okay, let's see if that has some meaning behind it.
I sure hope so.
Right. Oh, wow.
Which one is this?
So the 8th charity Star Scorpio is donating to is, you might not be able to see it, but I'm going to put up on the screen later, the Mississauga Humane Society.
Amazing. Okay, amazing, amazing.
Anything for animals. I love it. That's back to back too.
Always, wow. always. So that feels good.
Yes. Nice.
I'm glad I made that joint.
All right, Rinky. Thanks for coming out today. This is episode 8 of Real Talk with Star Scorpio in the books, and we out.